Good evening, everybody. Welcome on in to another installment of the podcast called Medical Talk in Layman's Terms with Nurse Charlene. And tonight's topic is going to be something new and cutting edge for you guys, but all within the concept of talking about nutrition and supplements and all that stuff. We're going to be debunking or myth busting some things that you might have thought was good about your nutrition and different things like that and stuff. So tonight I have a guest, my first guest. Yay! And that would be I will introduce you in a second and everything, but the topic tonight is organics and supplements, and then the whole thing is we're debunking nutrition and supplements and the fallacies, which are the different things called misconceptions of everything and stuff. So I have somebody that's well versed in it. So without further ado, before I go into my podcast disclaimer and everything, I'm going to introduce to some already and everything, but a Mr. Michael Jefferson. And he is a businessman, entrepreneur. He's a teacher, an educator, an avid researcher, and all these other good things. And guess what else, you guys? He's my son. Yeah. Educated, well versed in everything. So you're in for a treat tonight. Yes. So without further ado, I want to introduce my son, Mike Jefferson, Mr. Mike Jefferson.
What up, what up, what up?
Hey, yes, and stuff. So, of course, we're going to be debunking some of the misconceptions or fallacies, which are misconceptions, in other words, keeping it in layman's terms, that people say about something in order to sell it and stuff. So I'm gonna give you a quick introduction, and then we're gonna go right on in with Mr. Jefferson and let him speak his piece about this, and then we'll go back and forth. You come on in, you guys join and everything, and get on in here and stuff. This is some good stuff, and if you want to get any education while strolling on social media, you have found the spot and everything. So just get ready. It's gonna be a treat tonight and everything. So let me just put somebody on real quick, and come on, matriarch, get your phone. Yeah. Okay, so I want to do my podcast disclaimer, get that out the way, and then we're gonna have some fun here, but at the same time getting educated and ready to go. This is how we swinging for 2026. All right. So the podcast is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not intended to replace professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Okay. Always consult with your physician for any medical concerns. If you have questions about a medical condition, reach out to a qualified healthcare professional, your doctor. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay seeking it because of something you heard on a podcast, including mine. Guest views are their own and may not reflect the views of the host, which is me. And sometimes they will reflect the views of the host. I'll let you know. Or this podcast. The information shared is for general knowledge. It should not be used for any legal or medical purposes. Always consult with a licensed professional who knows your medical history for a meaningful evaluation. You guys stay informed, but always seek professional advice when it comes to your health if you want to live. Okay. All right. Thank you guys for listening to that. Welcome on in, Miss Sandra. She said, hello, Nurse Charlene and Rosie and Britt. And hello to your special guest, my nephew, Michael. Love seeing you.
Oh yeah.
Here, Michael. It's over in the bottom corner.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's right down there. What's up, Auntie?
Yes, yes. Well, y'all, welcome on in. You're in for a treat. This is as usual, making healthcare fun but informative. So you don't walk out of this the same way. You walk out changed with each and every topic we cover and everything. And so we're gonna, sit here and we're gonna bust some myths about things that you heard, and everything. So before my distinguished guest starts and everything and stuff, I just want to read a couple things. And that is nutrition and supplements are everywhere. They're in commercials, social media, gyms, doctor's offices, and kitchen cabinets. I know, kitchen cabinets. And you see in the back and stuff, I got a medicine cabinet over here and stuff. And I try to put pill bottles and stuff like that. Just to give you a slice of what we getting into. We digging and everything and stuff. So I said kitchen cabinets. Many promises of quick fixes, more energy, weight loss, stronger immunity, better sleep, glowing skin, and longer life. And so yeah, they promising that. Okay, I told you we debunking, right? We myth busting.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's promising this. That don't mean you gonna get it. Okay, so then but here are the truth. If supplements work the way the marketing claims, chronic disease rates would be dropping, not rising. Fact. Okay. So the presentation that me and Mike Jefferson are presenting tonight breaks down common nutrition and supplement misconceptions, fallacies, or misconceptions. It means the same thing, but that's giving you a word like medical terminology. I give it to you all the time. This is one of those words, because if you know both of them, you're smarter than the average bear. Okay. Using plain language, real world examples, and science based logic without medical jargon overload. So we're not trying to overload you. We're trying to inform you so that you better than most. And it might just save your life. Okay. And everything. So without further ado, we're going to kind of tag team, me and Mike. We decided ahead of time that we're going to tag team and kind of go back and forth with different things. I'm going to man the comments and everything and stuff. And Mike Jefferson, I'm going to let him go at it. When you're ready for the PowerPoint to take place and stuff, just let me know and stuff. And we're going to get on down. We got some little treats, a little slideshow for you. I'm so excited. And everything, so you'll be able to see some good stuff going on. Welcome on in, you guys, and welcome on in, Mike Jefferson. You go ahead and have your way.
Definitely, I appreciate it, Mama. I know that I'm excited. I'm the first guest. You know what I mean? 2026. It's just weird to say that year. It's a lot of numbers all smushed up. I feel like the Jetsons, and flying cars and stuff like that. It's 2026, right? Like. It just feels like we're in the future every time I say the year. But exactly. Or when I say like the year my kids were born, you know what I mean? Cairo, Keanu, shout out my kids. And my wife Lorelai. I think it's just weird being in this year. But speaking of that, right now is a time when so much more information is so much easier to get, and we're even more lost, right? It's like how come. Right. How come you're getting so much big right now? How come you're receiving so many comments and stuff like that? Because people more than ever are going to need to hear from a real person. All this AI, online, fake, whatever. We have no idea. Even in the Super Bowl, apparently when Homeboy fell down, the house that he was in Puerto Rico, right? So they like AI'd that. You know what I mean? They like sketched that together to look like that. And they were able to do that before. But just the quality and stuff now, I thought he really fell in that hole and that was in there. Like I thought it looked just as seamless. The walls lined up scale wise. Like It's so much easier to fake you now, right? It's so much easier to scam you and pyramid scheme you and get you hyped up into stuff that, come to find out, can harm you. And so when me and my mom talked about this, we were like, hey, look, I think that it can make sense if we, shared some of those misconceptions. We went into like, what is the cutting edge truth to this stuff? Like, there's some, and anything that I'm saying right now, unless you know right now, please fact check it. I think I'm very opposite from a lot of people as far as being offended. I don't get offended. I'm not offended. You could tell me that, hey, what you said was wrong. I love that. Now give me some facts that back it up, not the AI stuff, but like if you're gonna use AI, at least check it, right? Like, and then tell me how I'm wrong so I can get better. Because I'd rather be as good as I possibly can, because I don't care about being right in this moment as much as I care about Cairo and Keanu having a dad who really knows what's up. So if you can tell me something that can check me now, so I can help them when they're 7. You know what I mean? So that's a big deal. So in the comment section, you know what I mean? Like go for it. Like share your heart. Like go in on that was wrong, that was right. I support that. I don't support that. Like those things create confrontation. And I'm like, that's because of the person who took it. I'm just not gonna take it that way.
Me neither.
That's how I am. I like to be a little bulletproof in that area, which has led me to shift some of my thinking. And some of that stuff I'm gonna share with you today. I'm gonna tell you right now, I didn't believe everything I'm about to share with you right now. I actually was kind of like preaching when I would teach martial arts classes. I get to the end of class, I would preach the opposite of this stuff. I was, oh, y'all got to do this, because I thought that was right. Everybody. And when I talk to all of my instructors and people around my age at that time, we go back. It's like, dang, we shouldn't have done that. We should have actually allowed more eating and while being in class, for example. Like we grew up in a time you didn't get water, you didn't eat in class. You could be in class for 3 hours, no food, no water.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you understand how the body works and electrolytes, etc., it's like we thought we were being hard for that, but that ain't being hard. Like your performance is gonna drop ridiculously, and you could have done more if you just had a sip of water. Like it doesn't take away from anything. And so the lesson that we were trying to teach, there was a lesson there of perseverance that does still help me to this day. However, it wasn't quite fully informed information, because everybody's at where they at when they start, and then they learn more later. And so nobody's ever to blame. You can't blame your teachers or your parents or whoever who knew whatever they knew at the time, or even yourself. And so give yourself a pass. Everybody give yourself a pass on what you might have known before jumping into any of my mom's podcasts, because then she's going to give you the real, and then you just take it in. Or even the information I'm giving to you right now. You might have thought one thing. You might hear something like, dang, all right, I'm going to think that now, because it makes sense. But if it doesn't make sense, go fact check it. All right, cool. Let me get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about here, let me see what my thing. Oh, yum, yum, yum. No.
Welcome on in, Auntie Josie.
Hello.
She said, I'm at my grandson's game, but I'm listening. Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you. And I hope he get on down and win. Her grandson's basketball game. Basketball? Yep.
Nice.
We got so many basketball players in our family. Yeah, I like that.
All right, cool. So,
hey, Maria.
I'm thinking that it could make sense to start.
Welcome on in, baby. Yes. All right.
No, let's not put that on yet. I'll talk about this first. So the first thing I want to kind of jump in is just like a reality check, right? And talk about longevity, because when it comes to health, I hadn't had this explained to me until, a handful of years ago. And it changed the way I thought about just our bodies and our life. There's a difference between your lifespan and your health span. Okay. A lot of times people are like, I'm trying to extend my lifespan. But would you want a life where you could barely move? Like you can't move your body. Your health is terrible. Like health is all the way down. You're suffering each and every day, but you live to 340. Would you rather have that? Or would you rather be able to climb mountains, play with your grandkids all the way up until you're only 45? And it's like, dang, I don't know. Do I want the 300 years, or do I want the 45 of good years? And the research and things like that lean actually towards people only having 45 good, solid, very healthy, very active. I could jump, spin, I don't get hurt. I'm great years than being sick and suffering every day for 300 years. So it's not about how long we live. It's about our quality of life.
That's
quality
why.
of life. I know you mentioned that before. Quality of life is a big deal. And people do studies on this stuff and they find out like, yeah, like especially our folks that are elderly that get forgot about a lot. They have a plethora of knowledge. We need to tap into them. They know what's up and they'll tell you when they're pushing, you know, 90 or pushing 115. They'll tell you, look, I just want more time. You know what I mean? I wish I was able to move around more. I wish I could get on that roller coaster. I wish I could move. I just want to be able to move. Moving is one of the number one indicators of health span. So there's right now you're aging. Since this podcast started, you're aging right now. It's a silent clock that's happening. Your heart, the heart attack that you have at 50 years old, a lot of times people are like, it's out of nowhere, right? Sometimes, you know what I mean? Sometimes, but I'm gonna say it, okay? Because I didn't know this.
Go ahead.
It often begins with the fatty acids that was in your arteries at 20. Because of what you ate at 20, and you're like, you know, but they say, man, I could eat that stuff back when I was younger, but I can't anymore. We never just question that. How come everybody say that? How come like always when you eat bad when you're young, always you have issues later? Like always, like it's never like I was fine earlier and I'm also fine now. Like I used to eat junk, and now that I'm in my 60s, I still eat junk and I'm fine. Like it's never, you don't really hear that as often. You hear, and so we don't think about like it's not that you can then and now you can't. Because you did then, that's why things are kind of the way that they are later. It's the same thing in everything else in life. Hello, how you doing? Good to see you.
Yes.
And so this fragility, this idea that like people like even pass away from natural causes. I think we got to question that. I feel like if your dad was a scientist and he said that, then for sure. But the science, you know, like people who, if your dad studied human lifespans or your uncle studied that stuff, if you look into those areas, which I didn't feel like I needed to, I was like, nah, some people just, you know, natural cause, like the biology sets us up in a way we're supposed to have. Look, for sure, there's indications that sometimes you can't even find a factor. I'm not talking about the outliers. For the majority of us, it's stuff that we did, right? A lot of the stuff we die from disease or the loss of the motivation to lose. To move. It's movement, right? If we stop moving, we is when we, even when you look at like folks that are like just their brains are just when they're like, but their body, they might be in the hospital for days. You start talking to them, they're like ready to go. They'll fight through stuff. They'll get out that hospital like my granny did.
Yeah, to get out.
She was up there like, nah,
I gotta escape this prison.
And she got out of here. You know what I'm saying? But if you notice the people who are like, I just ain't got much. That when the brain starts going in that direction, the body starts, when the movement stops, when the brain stops thinking, when it slows down, that's when you know stuff happens. And I think that's a big thing. So your metabolic process, right? Like over basically 100% of Americans, and I think the statistic is like 93%. 93% of Americans are metabolically unhealthy, right? No matter how much sea moss you're taking, no matter how many supplements you're taking, no matter how much food you eat that you think is great, even those groups, they're less off. They're probably that 7% or so. Very likely that people who make better choices, they're in that 7%. But most of us, most Americans,
Mr. Jefferson, the metabolic that you're talking about.
Yep.
If anybody has ever heard of, I got me a fast metabolism or I got a slow metabolism, it's how your body processes the nutrients and uses the energy from that Snickers or from that fruit, you know, and stuff.
I like that you mentioned Snickers, like a sugar or fruit, like a sugar, because the meaning of it is that the body is how your body cannot efficiently switch between burning sugar and fat. That's what metabolic dysfunction is. Everything breaks down to sugars, fats, and protein. And so I know I'm backing up a lot of what you've been talking about for sure. Because this is the stuff, and I dive into that stuff. I take those topics and I dive into it, and it's like it really breaks down. Your body is set up to like process the stuff we put into it. But if we haven't been taught to not eat this until you eat this first, or not just throw so much of this, like you can have it, but you can't have it all day, right? If you spike in your insulin. With I don't care if you're you're not diabetic. You can end up pushing the limit though if you continue doing what's called spiking your insulin, and then while it's at its peak, it's going to take a certain amount of time to come back down. But before it does, you spike it again. Oh, I'm gonna go get a snack. They say eat snacks, right? Snacks are good for you, right? And then you spike it again, and then you spike it again. So if you look at this at a chart of it, your insulin levels, I mean, your insulin has been like rushing into your body the entire time of your whole life, like for years. And so when that's happening, fat loss can't happen. Certain correlations happen. It's like, oh, that's why so many people are unable to lose weight, even when they're trying real hard, is because their body is already set up and programmed to process food a certain way. And that's the metabolic, your metabolism, how you process things. I'm going to put it in simple layman's terms, is in a dysfunction, right? So the goal with this lifespan, health span thing is being able to get more years back. So there's some studies that came out, and I love just looking at it says that adopting specific lifestyle habits can add up to 24 years to your life. And that's the difference between seeing your grandchildren born and seeing them get married. I might have said that in the last time we talked, but that hit me deep.
Get married.
Like to see your grandkids get married, like some people are just okay with seeing them, right? And because of what kind of like what they've seen. But if you see generations of people who they're able to do a lot more than that, then you'll like granny, like you're able to see a lot more than that, then you're gonna want a lot more too. I want to be able to see my grandkids, kids. Like I want to keep going, and I want to be healthy for it, and I want them to learn from me. I want to be able to talk to them. And when you won't have these wants, then your lifestyle has to kind of change and reflect that. So going into this supplement stuff, this myth around stuff, right? There's these 8 pillars of your life. And so the supplements are going to start to fill in these gaps, because we got to think about what supplement means. To supplement something is to supplemental income. What is that? Like when you hear supplemental, it's to like if your income is supposed to take care of things, but if it doesn't, you miss some days or something like that, you don't have enough, you have to go get a supplemental income in order to supplement what your income is supposed to do. So when people say supplements are bad, just tell them, change it into money. Is money bad? Like it's saying that I'm lacking here. Let me get some more real quick from another source. Yeah, because I'm not getting enough here. Right? That's what supplements are. It's recognizing that the way that the farms are doing with our nutrients, the way that the statistical analysis of broccoli from back in the day is not the same broccoli as it is now. Nothing is. People know this stuff. We all intuitively know our watermelon ain't the same. All of these things ain't the same. It's not the same nutrient density. So that means that like we're wondering why 94% or whatever is the way that it is. And we don't have to wonder. We know exactly why. We're not getting everything that we need. So supplements, to me, and this is my personal opinion, it's not like you kind of need them. They're necessary. Unless you plan on completely turning your entire backyard, because you got one and it's big enough and you got all the resources and time into making it fully organic, and you about to just spend the thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on water and all of that stuff that it takes. You know what I mean? It's filling in what you can't get, right? So you can go do that. You can go make some super nutrient dense. Go find your friend who's always farmed and never was around GMOs, whatever, and you get those seeds. But the amount of effort to do that is wild. Now here's the thing. Right. People turn to the places that sell vitamins, right? GNC. That's where I went. I went to GNC. They go to Costco. That's the number one place people go. People go to Costco. And the reason why is because they're not going for nutrition. Let's just be honest. They're going because it's a deal. Their health is based upon how much money they're willing to pay. They'll drop thousands of dollars to be at the Super Bowl, but they're not going to put any of that into a vitamin that costs $1,000, because there doesn't exist a vitamin that costs $1,000. They can't make them that expensive because they don't cost that much, right? They do cost a certain amount, but they don't cost $1,000. So if somebody's trying to sell you $1,000 vitamins, you need to run away. But if they're trying to sell you $15 Costco vitamins, you need to run away too, in my personal opinion. Because the quality, first of all, the 1,000, like I said, they don't exist. Your body can only absorb so much and be bioavailable. And I'll talk about that word in a second, but to a certain degree. And you just need to know those degrees. What's the maximum of what your body can like absorb and actually utilize, and you're gonna feel the difference. And long term is gonna make your skin, your body look great. Like that's where you're at. You're not looking to go above that, because at some point it's like drinking more water ain't better. At some point you can hurt yourself. And then let's have it extra pure is not better. And then having unregulated is not better too. So when I like I don't talk crap about sea moss because I tried it. I just didn't feel a difference. And other people do say that they do it because you have to try long term, honestly. And I did. I did a month. I like to give stuff time because at the end of the day, when you're taking anything or you even switching foods, you got to let your body and your cells absorb it over time. Nothing is going to give you a day and then you're there unless it's a drug, right? So you want to let stuff like, getting, and then eventually you'll be like, man, I'm starting to feel a little different in my body with this thing, right? I think that's a major part of a lot of this stuff is that the reason why your cabinets are filled with all of these vitamins and you're and all this stuff, and all this, what else do I hear? AG1 and these green powders. And the reason why your body is filled with all of that stuff, and then you're still having comments. I always ask people, if that stuff is working for you, go for it. Because maybe your nutrient gap, it filled it, right? Like Maria was saying, it filled the gap. You didn't need all the other stuff. You just needed that thing. So it filled that gap. And so you're feeling better. There you go. But if like after a couple of months, you start noticing it's not, maybe it was placebo. Maybe it was the hype ups. Everybody's, hey, bro, you got to try this stuff. People, there's a thing called a Jefferson squat. They're like, bro, you got to try that Jefferson squat, the Jefferson squat. I'm like, because they have my name in it, that's my favorite squat now because I like it. So we do stuff that we like. Let's be honest with you, not stuff that actually works. There's a certain kind of squat, like the regular squat. It's hecka hard. You put the bar on your back, you do it appropriately with a couple 45s on there. It's going to hurt. It hurts bad, actually. But and so we always try to find another way out. Like, I'm going to try this other way. But it already works. You just got to keep doing it, Yeah, there's all kind of dyes, 20, 30 years ago, and food is so different today, period. Even fresh fruit foods. And and you're 100% right about that. Even go look up, you should look this up. Go look up even the term organic and what constitutes that. Because just because they say that, right, doesn't necessarily mean that it's what you think it is. Like the word itself is new, right?
Yes.
And it's a marketing term given. It's so many. Oh man, I got a whole list of marketing terms. But
it just sound fancy.
But here's what I did. What I did for everybody is, I'm gonna cut through the flow so we don't, spend so much time on all of this stuff. There's a main thing that I feel like everybody, your doctor is telling you should probably have. If you go to the doctor, they're gonna be like, "Are you taking a multivitamin?" They always ask you, right? Mm-hmm. And the thing about the different forms of vitamins and the organics that I want to get into is that organics are targeted, right? You don't need organics. You don't need, or these organic supplements is what I'm saying, right? You don't need these particular targets unless you have that issue. Like, why are you taking, like, if your eyes are fine, you don't need, like, I need some extra stuff for my eye. Like, you take the targeted stuff to help you with the targeted stuff. If you're trying to grow your chest, you do chest press. You don't do leg presses for your chest. Like, those are different muscles, right? So think of it like that when you're trying to get the targeted stuff. But overall health, and I know Maria's mentioning something right here, and Brown, the plaque and your cell walls, which in return doesn't allow for the good foods and supplements to penetrate the cell that you exactly. So you have to detox first. There's something in my slide actually that talks just about that exactly.
Yes.
It's the stuff, all of the bad stuff from the stuff that we didn't know otherwise we were eating this stuff. It actually created, like you said, like it created this atmosphere in your body, and your body is metabolically unhealthy. It's dysregulated. You might feel fine on the outside, but on the inside, you're on the brink of something going on. And that's why it feels all of a sudden, and why it feels like, why me all the time? Why all these other people they all doing this drinking and smoking, whatever. Why me? Why do I have to hit? Because it could have been that plus something else. Then you got sick. Then there was a lingering something going on. Then COVID. Now you don't realize that COVID is blowing up others. Like, it's so many different factors that you can like start to look at. And I think that one of the things that I started looking at was like, let's get a foundation. Let's set a foundation. I want to help people understand that, like, where do we go when we're like, look, I'm taking none of that stuff. I don't do supplements. I don't do any of that stuff. But I'm starting to recognize that you're right, that we need some kind of base because we're not getting it from our foods. We agree that we're not getting it from our foods, even organic stuff. But then we also disagree about supplements, and we're thinking like, I'm not taking no vitamins. I'm not taking all that stuff is fake too. You're just going to pee it all out, right? Like all of these things I used to say, and then you learn the truth, and then it's like, okay, like, and then I have the benefits of it for my own health and how it's helped me. And I'm like, okay, I get it. I'm never going to not, when I say I'm never going to not take supplements for the rest of my life, it's the same thing as saying I'm going to continue eating food for the rest of my life. That doesn't sound weird, right? Does it sound weird to say I'm going to continue eating healthy food, like specifically foods with iron and this kind of stuff and things that I need? That doesn't sound weird at all. But when people say I'm going to take supplements for the rest of my life, and a bunch of them, they're like, oh, I'm not taking all of that stuff.
Taking all of them, they're not going to work.
The vitamins and the good food you eat, it's a long list. You realize that, right? You realize it got iron and riboflavin or whatever that stuff is, and calcium and magnesium and manganese and like iodine. Like it had even iodine. There's at certain levels your body needs trace elements and minerals of certain things. It just doesn't need a ridiculous amount. So the thing that I try to protect my family and friends about when they want to talk to me about sea moss, that's the number one thing you really want to kind of look at is that iodine. Like sometimes they don't regulate how much they're putting in there. The guy who created it for you in his backyard is not a scientist. He understands the science of the product itself. But once the light hits it, did it just become dysregulated now? Like is it now useless? Like once the air touches it, why are bottles shaped a certain way or have certain colors to protect it from the UV light? Like
brown and different things. Yeah.
Certain things supposed to be in the fridge. Certain things supposed to be in the pantry. Pantries. Yeah. I didn't always have a pantry growing up, but we put a bunch of food in there. Some of your supplements supposed to go in there too. So some things aren't supposed to see the sun in that way because it degrades the structure, the chemical structures and these bonds that are created. And we just don't know these things. We leave it right out there on the. Go ahead.
Yes. No, I'm sorry. I was trying to say heat or cold. You know, you can't put it next to the stove or something and expect it to still be acting right. You know, that's how you see your food break down, and that's already processed half the time because we can't afford the other good stuff, the real good stuff. But if we start concentrating on what the stuff that's good, that putting as
I'm
much.
Be honest, you could afford it. I'm gonna be honest. We can't afford it.
We can, and we stop with Starbucks, so we stop with that.
We can't afford it. We can't afford
it correctly.
Look, they spend millions of dollars. My wife will work for a company.
You guys.
My wife will work for a company, one of the biggest companies on earth when it comes to products and services. And when she tells me the sheer numbers that these companies are pulling in, millions a day, like it's ridiculous. And so like the amount of money just flying. So, but here's the thing, there's jokes in the industry, but she's an accountant. There's jokes in the industry around like, well, we spend all our money on marketing. Like, it's like everything I appreciate it, Auntie. Yeah, it's great information because look, we're here to give you the information. That's what it's for. I think that's the reason why my mom created this podcast was to bridge that gap. We've been talking about this stuff for years. I grew up with her explaining certain things, biological, whatever. So I already had the aptitude to be in the medical industry in some way. I just wanted to take a different direction when I found what I'm doing right now with the vitamin and supplement industry and having some partnerships with some companies that provide some of the best on earth, like hands down the best on earth. I was like this makes sense to share, but I'm not out there just like marketing stuff because everybody. Here's the thing: when you're sharing information, are you sharing it to like help people? Or are you sharing it so that they can try to beat you with what they know? I don't want to battle with my family and friends. I'm not trying to fight you. I don't want to fight nobody. Why would I want to fight you about you having better health? If you feel like you're about to get that somewhere else, go get that. But if you think you can get it from me, then get it from me and get it from somewhere. Just get it. Get the best information. You know what I mean? Get stuff that can help you. What is this? I don't know about this. What's this? Olive oil in a jar and a dark jar to preserve the quality of it. Exactly.
Yes.
You ever see those?
That part.
You need to bring Maria on here for sure.
I know. Get ready, girl.
My pantry, I saw those bottles, and the other day I thought about leaving it out. I walked away, turned around, and I was like, "There's a reason why that bottle is that color. Let me put it back in the pantry." Because I knew it. Because outside it would have sat there in the sun. So, speaking of that stuff, let's go to the slides.
Okay, just a second. Look, she leveling up.
Boom. I love this. And man, these images, don't get overwhelmed by it. This is definitely, medical talk, Nurse Charlene and layman's terms. And so the idea is that don't read this. I'm going to read it in a way where it's just super understandable. If it seems overwhelming, but otherwise there are people on here, I'm sure that, Maria,
know what this stuff is.
They'll be right through this stuff. And they know more.
Maria do.
So look, this whole thing right here is a cell, and this is how the cells have the nutrient absorption. No, I'm joking. That's not what we're about to do. So what I would do want to share with you, bioavailability is a big deal for me. When people talk to me about what they're taking, they're like, hey, Mike, what do you think I should take? I'm always like, how bioavailable is it that of what you have? Like, what do you have? What are you taking? And let's try to figure out how is that form of taking it the most bioavailable for you. That's a big deal. So here's the thing. So this thing right here says, understanding the engineering required to bridge the distance between ingestion and absorption. Let's talk about those two words. Ingestion, right? You take it in, right? Mm-hmm. Absorption is your body actually using the stuff that you take in. So, said recently, a buddy was talking, he's like, if you're taking maybe a weight loss supplement like Ozempic or something like that, right? And not judging or anything, I'm just saying, if you're taking that, what's happening is this: you don't want to eat that much. But this made a lot of sense. If all you ate though was a cookie, and now you don't want to eat much, that means everything you ate was a cookie. So all of your nutrients is coming from a cookie. And I'm glad you're losing weight and everything, but all you got in your body was a cookie. So to be healthy doesn't mean to not eat, right? Or to eat just junk and be able to do it. It's kind of understanding that what we put in our body has a value, and that value shouldn't be cheap. It shouldn't be less valuable than the Super Bowl. Like your mouth and the way that God made it for you, you don't have to share my faith, but the way God made it for you, like it's not for crap. It's for a purpose. It's just hard because I get it. Stuff tastes good. You know what I mean? And so it's like if stuff tastes good and then there's stuff that don't taste good, may not be good for you. I'm like have a balance. Just have a balance until you can figure out how to like get yourself in certain areas. I'm like, just have a balance. So bioavailable says, what does bioavailable mean? I don't know what that means. That's a good one. Bioavailable, breaking it down, bio is like life, right? Like life, the study of life is what biology is. The whole ology thing means study. I think if you break that, the etymology, and then bio is just life, right?
Life.
So you see something says, biology is the study of life. Bioavailability is life availability, right? So how lively is this thing that you're putting in your body? How useful is it? How much is it gonna make you win? You know what I mean? That's what I like to think about. So because here's the thing: if you take emergency 1,000 milligrams, this is a great example. Me and my mom, we talk about this.
Yeah, we talk.
And if you know us, we talk about that. If you take 1,000 milligrams worth of vitamin C and you're like, bro, I took 2 packs, bro, I was so sick, I took 2 packs.
Yeah,
and it works for you. That's great. It helps you because vitamin C is great for being sick and things like that, for sure. But if it doesn't work for you, or maybe it's hit or miss, what's happening is you really should be taking that 2-pack or 1-pack or whatever. You should be taking that every single hour, because not only the availability part, but the efficacy part. Your body will burn off stuff at a certain rate, depending on what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Vitamin C is gone in 45 minutes to an hour. Every study shows it's just what it is. We know half-lives of things. So if your vitamin C that you just took, I don't care if you took 30,000 milligrams of vitamin C, it's gone 45 minutes later. And you need it to fight. So that means you like, oh, your body's like, oh, look, vitamin C. Oh, yeah, you came to help. Oh, yeah, for sure. Let's get this sickness. Oh, where you going? Hey, where y'all going? Oh. Like, bro, my job, I only get paid 45 minutes. That's it. You better go get 2 more. So when people talk about, I ain't taking your expensive this, but if you take what you're supposed to take of that, it's even more expensive, right? And that expensive this that I'm talking about, I support a particular kind of supplement that's a vitamin C. That's called a vitamin C extended release. And it has technology that makes it so that it doesn't break down fast. It breaks down over 8 hours. So it's only 500 milligrams. So it's less. And and if you want 1,000 milligrams for whatever reason, sometimes I'll take 2, 3, 4 of them. Vitamin C is one of those things that you need it for every cell in your body. You need it for everything. This is good. But you can't really like overdose on it per se, right? Like certain stuff like B vitamins and things like that, you have to pee them out at some point. If your body doesn't use it at certain moments, like certain amino acids, your body don't use it, it just throws them out. So when you're taking a lot of emergency, those little effervescent tablets or whatever, you sometimes they'll come in multiple pills. Like it'll be like what is it? I think somebody just said something about that bottle you take. Yeah, you buy a bottle of vitamin and take 4. You probably should be taking 8. Yeah, but the thing, even if you take 8 all at the same time, 45 minutes later they're gone. I don't care.
It's gone.
So the idea
get a chance to do something.
Take one that has 8 hours of extended release. How much money are you actually saving versus the cheap or the Costco brand that's giving? Here's the thing: Costco brand gonna give you a bulk of them. They gonna give you 3,999,999,999,000,000,000 pills in one that you gotta like use this to scoop out your serving size in order to eat, right? Like that's the idea of Costco. It's cheaper, and that makes sense for buying, you know, some stuff for the kids, snacks and stuff that last shelf stable. But are we asking if those vitamins are shelf stable? Are we asking if they're supposed to really last that long? Would you take your meat and leave it out for a week or like 45 days, you know, and I'm gonna just keep taking it out the package and putting it back in, take it out the package and put it back in every time you open a bottle? Would you do that with your food, trying to get, and then you expect with your broccoli and expect nutrients later? No, that stuff is not bioavailable anymore. Even though it still looks like something. This is the crazy part. It'll physically still look like a vitamin. It just won't be bioavailable for you. So you'll take it in, and the stuff you took it in with the purpose of using it for is gone. So we're wondering, like, but I take my multivitamin every day. Like, how come it's not working? Some of that stuff, right? Some of that understanding of like what in this bottle is not bioavailable anymore. Okay. So I'm going on this journey here. So there's a hidden cost. I don't even know what this word means. Is that palatability?
Oh, the tongue. So the palate is your tongue.
There
so ability and stuff, meaning is the cost of the palatability is the taste.
Yeah. Like,
because they got to make it taste good, or you don't want to taste it.
That's the thing. I'm being honest with you. I was talking to my mom about this, and I had to stop her. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was like, Mom, everything is about what is people's emotion. It's the convenience. When I heard it was gummy, you could have a gummy vitamin.
A gummy? I don't have to take that big old pill.
Did you know that gummies, vitamins, even though they're new, like this whole new little craze, right? They hold more than 50% of the market on all of these stuff. What does it say? That second part? The comments are in the way.
Okay.
Oh, dang, sorry. Oh, maybe if I make it bigger. There it goes. Yeah, 50% of the market share driven by pill fatigue. And what is pill fatigue? How many of us say this? Because I was one of them. I ain't taking all those damn pills. I'm not taking. That's too many pills, right? Like
all them damn pills. Like, what are they really doing?
I associate taking a lot of pills with being old. That's what I said. I'm like, if I'm taking all these pills, that means my health is bad. I take a lot of pills, right? Just like certain people eat a lot of healthy food, right? I supplement my healthy food with a lot of healthy supplements to supplement that. So, but like, and so at first I thought it was like weird, and until I realized, like, oh wait, your body has hydrochloric acid in it, stuff that can melt pipes. You think when you eat anything, if I ate my morning breakfast at 6 a.m., you think it's still there by 12? You think it's still there helping your body? That's the myth that we don't get. That stuff is getting incinerated in your system, right? And then it turns into that brown stuff. It's poop.
Yes.
Right? So after it gets through all your body, the kidneys filter out all of the water. Come to find out, I didn't realize pee is blood without the platelets. You know that? Like, I thought it was the water that you drank. Oh, there's water I drank that became... If your kidneys is filtering your blood, and it's taking in stuff, and then when it pushes out, it doesn't have the red stuff. But if it ever does, then that means that you have some kind of regular, you know, what happens when you have pee in your
blood in your pee?
Yeah,
that there's an infection somewhere up high.
I mean, blood in your pee. Yeah.
Oh yeah, blood in your pee, pee in your blood, in your urine, Michael, urine.
Yeah, I mean some kind of infection. Yeah, and I would imagine it has to be some kind of like kidney dysfunction too, because your kidney's supposed to catch that stuff. And if it's coming through, or it might have happened somewhere earlier, or I don't know, maybe it's too much. It was overwhelmed and it came through, but you know, but yeah,
blood is usually a sign of some type of inflammation. So therefore meaning that inflammation means, you know, a fever. A fever means infection. So if you put all of them together, there's something going on inside of there. It could be a urinary tract infection. It could be something even higher, like some type of kidney infection and stuff. And there's a lot of filters. Your body is so amazing, you know, and I just did the body, and your body is so amazing that it got all of these things. But pee is the trash of your blood being filtered and cleaned by your kidneys and liver. Poop is your body pushing out the trash that it doesn't need from the food you put in. Even if you put in cupcakes all day and stuff, it's gonna take whatever nutrient is in that cupcake.
It ain't much, but it's gonna take
cupcake dry before pushing it out. And mostly that cupcake is gonna come out in your poop because it's not worth the cupcake you put in, the time you put in to use it. So that's where all of this stuff is. And just one more thing, Michael. Bioavailability, so that just in case, so you're clear, is how much of a nutrient your body can actually absorb and use. And so going back to when we talked about the emergency, Michael said, I was feeling really sick, so I took 2 packs of emergency. Not us, but we laugh at it and stuff, but it's not funny really and stuff because you took 2 packs. So usually not only is it leaving in 45 minutes and it ain't even there no more, but you didn't put 1,000 milligrams or 2,000 milligrams inside your body and stuff, and your body only used 200 milligrams of that and spit the rest out. So you just wasted all of that because you thought, if I take enough of these vitamin C, I'm not going to be sick anymore. It doesn't heal you. It helps stop symptoms and stuff like that and everything. Right. So you need the nutrient from the vitamin C, yes. But that's just like eating a bag of oranges or something like that. You gotta see what's right for you. 20 oranges to get 200 milligrams.
I've actually gotten that question. Should I drink? Should I just eat a bunch of oranges, or should I take a vitamin that has that in there? And I'm like, they're like, wouldn't it be better? And I'm like, listen, here's the thing though. When you take oranges, it also comes with a massive amount of sugar too, right? So you're right. It has, and oranges actually isn't the highest source of vitamin C, by the way. It's plenty of things that are way higher. That was all marketing to make you buy oranges. So but oranges they have a nice amount.
Crazy.
And so oranges, when you see the story of bananas, oranges, and all of these things, you realize all of it was because the owner of the company, who could be you and I, you just happen to own a company. How do I make people buy this more? Well, let's tell people that cereal is the breakfast of champions. And it's not. That's not what your champions actually eat ever. But let's just tell people that so that people buy, and people will fall into that. It's marketing, man. And I'm happy. And you're gonna get that bioavailability word. Let that become just a flow of your vocabulary, because you're gonna need to know what that is for the rest of
so much better. You're gonna be ahead of the game.
And so getting through this too. So certain essential minerals like iron and magnesium, they're usually omitted from gummies. If you get the form, I'm off pills. I'm tired of pills, fatigue, right? I don't want to take no more
gummies.
Pills. But those gummies, they be tasting hella good because they got 2 to 8 milligrams or 2 to 8 grams, not milligrams. Sorry, because 1,000 milligrams is 1 gram, right? So this is 2,000 to 8,000 milligrams of sugar, right? Are typically in most gummies. And I'm gonna be honest with you, even some of the ones that I support, that from companies that I support as far as their philosophy and how they do in their manufacturing and distribution, they still put sugar because the flavor. If you're gonna put stuff like iron and magnesium in there, have you ever ate iron? It's not good. Go ahead and buy a steak straight, not medium rare. Just chew into the flesh of that and just be like, I love that iron. So I'm actually close to that. I'm close to that. I actually like my steaks. I get it. So I like that irony taste. But some people, they don't like that irony, right? They don't like that magnesium taste. So in most, it's not a good taste, even for kids. So all the kids stuff don't have that stuff in there either, because it's gonna make it taste nasty. And nobody's gonna give it to their kids, even though they need it, right? So they'll take that stuff out, and then vitamin C and B complex are depleted during production because they're heat sensitive. So we don't even think about this stuff. Is the manufacturing plant from the vitamins that you might have bought from Costco, 7-Eleven, Costco, Walmart, wherever, is their plant in Arizona? And have you checked and made sure that the HVAC system of that area is set opposite to whatever's going on outside, so that the vitamins stay at a certain temperature? Because as soon as they hit a certain level, and here's the thing, to even make the gummies, they go through a heating process. And so they're the same vitamin C that it says on the package is eliminated by that heat. The whole structure is going away. Physically, it still looks like a little gummy. And they can market it, and it's legal to put that on the bottle and ship it over to you. But as soon as you put it in your mouth, I'm gonna just tell you right now, it does not have vitamin C and vitamin B in there, even though it says it on the pack. But mine say, you just gonna believe what they say on that? I'm trying to tell you why.
Yeah, everything they say on the pack.
like the reason why is because of the heat. And if you don't go and find out what are they doing to mitigate that issue, what are they doing to make sure, if I'm putting my money every single month to buy some kind of vitamin or supplement from the 99-cent store, if it's 99 cents, but you care about the quality, I wouldn't go to 99 cents for supplement. But if you do care about the quality, you got to go there. I'm saving my money. I got to go to 99 cents store. I get the one a day. Find out about their manufacturing practices. When you find out and you learn that
you'll
stuff,
find out that it's like eating trash. It's straight trash.
It's better to not take it to some degree. Certain stuff, like we were talking about certain things, like certain sea mosses or whatever, they'll have recalls and stuff. They're harming people. And I feel bad for the people who started it because they didn't do all of this. They didn't know to do all of this kind of research on marketing and manufacturing, distribution chains, and how long did it take? And did it travel across America to get to you? Or like bananas, a lot of times come from like Ecuador. So how long those bananas just been sitting there before it finally came
freeze
to
these and then freeze them while they green?
You know what I mean? My father was telling me about meat. Like some of the meat that you finally see has been frozen for like years. And because it's frozen, molecules are slowed down. So, I'm like, is this good though? And I'm like, yeah, it's good. But what about the stuff that could survive through heat and cold, supplement wise, right? So doing your research is one thing, but doing the right research, that's the thing.
The right one, because so much they'll put anything out there for you.
Hopefully, at least if you learn nothing from me, through some of this stuff, is like at least your mind can be open to go research some of the stuff you're already gonna do. Let me add this little sentence in there when I chat GPT it. When I Gemini this, let me just add this quick little sentence about manufacturing and like just to know. I just want to know. And maybe it might be too much to understand. Tell them to put it in layman's terms, as if they were, Nurse Charlene or something like that. And then share that with the AI and have them do that for you, because knowing that other stuff will help your decisions to where, okay, do I get the cheap stuff for $5 or do I go buy this stuff for $15? It's triple the price, right? I can get 3 of these for that.
And why they're giving it away for cheap?
It's way better just prioritize what actually works. You know what you're saying?
Absolutely. No, I was saying, why are they putting it on sale in the first place? Why is it? Because I used to be the sale queen. If I see it and it's normally $19.99 for a big bottle of pills, because I gotta do for several people in the household and stuff, and then you see them and they only want $7.99.
Buy one get one
free. Yeah, then in the back of your mind, you like, what's wrong with it? But then in the front of your mind,
here's the thing. Then in the front of your mind, it's like, but I just bought these $15 the other day. Now I get 2 for $7. I'm getting like everything that happens psychologically.
I'm getting the whole shelf,
and they're not losing money.
And it's poison. It was poison then and poison now.
Here's the thing that's happening: when they can get it in your mouth and in your house, the products that they won as soon as they got it in your house. Because when it goes out, you don't say I'm running out of cottage cheese. You say or milk. You say I'm running out of almond milk. You know what I mean? You say I'm running out of silk. I'm running out of your mind is gonna go back to the thing that you just had and get that again. Some people's mind will shop and randomly grab stuff randomly, but a lot of people, they kind of go with what they know. They go with what their mom. They had Crest because their parents had Crest, and now they had Crest, so they can't see themselves without anything but Crest. Crest does. It has to be Crest for my teeth, and so just that switch is a psychological vulnerability that people have to take. And oftentimes I've met people who are like, look, I'm on my subscription already. I ain't doing it. I ain't switching. Even if it's better, I value my subscription and staying on it. And it's just convenient. It's just too much of a headache. Then even getting even if you have something better, because that's just where that's where they are. Like that's where the marketing world, it's not your fault. The marketing world literally spent millions to make sure that you are pacified as much as possible. Stuff come in 2 days. Stuff can come in 2 hours now. Like the barrier to get stuff to you used to be a week. Now it's dang near in an hour. So just think about that. Just know that these things are happening. That's why you have a foundation of what you use. So when you're starting to think about how much you want to put into your health, you're like, okay, let me not get caught up in them. I'm gonna stop buying that. I'm gonna cancel that. I'm gonna use AI to just cancel everything all at once, because you can do that. I'm gonna go do these things because I do prioritize the future of my life from this point on, and I do believe in some of this research I've been doing from maybe what you're hearing here. So gummies, by the way, are a psychological entry point. They get like, if you've never taken nothing, like, okay, at least take a gummy. That's my thing. And I do share gummies with certain people that buy gummy. Look, at least take something if you're taking nothing, right? At least take something that's valuable. But this is not the best form factor for supplements. So let me go into I might have skipped some slides here.
Okay.
We talked about this already, the hydrochloric acid. And this is just stomach acid, right? So take out that word hydrochloric and just think stomach acid is, you see this pH thing? Basic. People always talking about alkaline, Dr. CB, alkalinity. And I'm going to say something that might ruffle some, look, alkalinity. Here's the thing. Anybody ever drink alkaline water? Alkaline water, right? What is alkaline water? Is on a pH scale of like 9, right? Smart water 9, 10. Now I'm telling you, look, this is unrelated, but look, hydrochloric acid is 1.5 to 3.5. You mean to tell me that the water that you just drank is about to switch all of this to a 9? Now your stomach. So look, your pH is supposed to be what? Basic. The opposite, acidic.
Right in the middle.
I mean, it's supposed to be, acidic. It's supposed to be acidic, right? So you would think, I thought the 9s were acid. Like the higher up, I'm thinking hot sauce. You know what I mean? Like the higher the Scovilles, you know what I mean? Like it's actually like, so 1.5 to 3.5 is saying that your hydrochloric acid is acidic, right? The environment. So when you drink alkaline water, that's a 9, and you mix that with your hydrochloric acid, what's going to happen? It's going to switch up your pH levels in your stomach, so you won't be able to process your meat right. Your meat need to be in this environment to break down. But if while you're drinking your meat, you're drinking that alkaline water, right? So it's real
washing it down.
It's basic. I almost went down. It's kind of, we need a whole lesson on just that. So the higher up it goes, the more basic it is. You're gonna change the environment of the acidic in your stomach. It's supposed to stay low, and so now your meat coming in, it might be like a 5 because the 9 divided, if you get the average of that, the 9 plus the 1 or whatever, divide that by 2, you probably gonna be at like a 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever of your hydrochloric acid. So now meat comes in, and meat needs to be broken down all the way so that it can be absorbed properly in the small and large intestine, which is that ain't your butthole right here. This is what's that? The duodenum, the duodenum. What's that?
It's on the way.
Some of those, right? Like you got the caloric sphincter. I forgot. Yeah, physiology class. But the point is that like you're gonna change your pH level, and then sometimes when we have these digestion issues, our stomach is hurting. We might have changed our pH right before we needed to keep it where it was. Or sometimes for some people, some foods, we might need to keep it a little. We might need to drink some alkaline water to make it high. But we're not taught to drink alkaline water or not based on how we want our body to break it down and absorb it at that moment. We're not taught to do that. I wasn't taught to do that.
No.
There's not a lot of research and information out there. That's because the people who are making all the money from making the water alkaline, which does not cost a lot to do, they are winning from just charging you a bunch of money and you think it's better water than the other water. It's really about to become completely neutralized as soon as it gets to your stomach acid, because this stuff is strong.
One more thing, son.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you guys, as hopefully you could see the slide and everything and stuff, but as you're looking at it, do you see what's next to that's a stomach and everything, right? And he's talking about the hydrochloric acid inside your stomach. Your stomach has acid. That's why you take Pepsid, acid reducers and stuff, because it can burn a hole and everything. But as we're looking at that, look right next to it. Industrial rust remover. That's what it's saying on that bottle.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So when they're talking about why most pills fail, because they gotta be the bomb.com when you putting these vitamins in and you want them to do B complex, vitamin this, vitamin that, vitamin this and stuff. Look at what they're comparing the acid in your stomach to industrial rust remover, meaning that it's so acidic.
They're not even comparing it. That's exactly what it is. You can take
that
acid.
If you cut somebody's stomach open and got their real acid, they bio, and stuff, it's that strong. like it's compared to an industrial rust remover.
Yep.
So that's putting it on a rusty metal or something like that, and then you come out shining, and stuff like that. That's what's so strong in your stomach. You see how amazing your body is? This is God-given bodies and stuff because it's that strong. So mind you, when you're putting this food in there, when you're putting a Twinkie in there, it's unbothered, and it ain't gonna do nothing for you. But that's why they want you to put so many vegetables all day long, so many fruits all day long, so your meats and stuff, because they know that it can break down under the key inside your stomach. It has to be the right temperature, the acid has to be right what it is, the right environment.
Certain foods naturally, just by God, like you said, like they naturally come in a way where they're not going to get broken down. Like certain even leafy greens, they'll go in this hydrochloric acid, they'll get broken down appropriately. They won't get destroyed. They won't
get destroyed because they got to make their way out of your stomach into your small intestines.
You want this stuff to break down at the end of the day, right? Like at the end of the day, like we're not saying like the acid is supposed to do that. It's just sometimes two things happen. The thing that I'm talking about here is that even though it's the stomach acid is so incredible at what it does, there's a ghost pill phenomenon, right? Where in your what is it, your body, they're nurses, GI nurses, gastrointestinal, they'll go in the camera in your butt and they'll look in there and they'll see the pill still sitting in there. It hadn't got digested. That means that it survived this whole part.
It went through everything.
So how much of that pill you spent $14.99 on sale for buy one get one free at wherever you got it from? How much of that pill got absorbed by you if you can still see it out of your butt, like at the end?
Your vitamin C, vitamin B, vitamin A, vitamin E.
They spent more money on making sure it made it all the way through because they were so scared of that stomach acid that they didn't spend any technology, and that's why certain things cost more. They didn't spend the proper technology to make sure that it does break down appropriately and then end up where it's supposed to. So your large intestine absorbs certain amounts. Your stomach absorbs certain amounts of nutrients, and then some nutrients don't even get absorbed to just the small intestine. So, so do you have a supplement, a vitamin that the scientists were like, oh, we have to make sure that we separate this pill from this pill and that pill from that pill so that they don't have some kind of weird interaction and that they go down and this one gets absorbed here and then that one will fight that and resist it until the temperature is a little higher over here. That's when it breaks down and then those nutrients are delivered and then your body absorbs it and we don't poop it out. Like it's actually like whole food plant concentrates, real whole food. Like nature already know how to do it. All they did was just take nature. Here's the thing between, and this is big, I don't know if I have a slide on it, but there's a difference between synthetic and then whole food concentrates. Synthetic is when you isolate vitamin C out and you say, I'm going to use a chemical process and give me just vitamin C. There you go. Right? Ascorbic acid or whatever they call it. But then there's whole food. So you take the entire orange with everything else that goes with it. And you're able to measure the amount of milligrams and you dehydrate that. And that's a concentrate, right? Whole food plant concentrates are by far way better than the isolated that you get from these synthetics. And that's the thing. So if you look on the back of what I may provide you, if we have a chat after this and it's like, oh man, share me, what should I get? I'm ready to get some stuff. If you talk to me, I'm going to share some stuff with you that's whole food plant-based. And you're going to tell me and go in your cabinet and show me some stuff that is not. So the difference again is bioavailability. The difference is, are they going to survive the stomach acid? Right? The difference is like, is it going to work for you? So moving into that, I'm gonna skip through all of this. We talked enough about bioavailability now. Okay, I talked a little bit about the different. So
Michael,
mineral supplement.
Before you start, I just want to, before you start on that, just want to make sure, because you brought up such a good thing, the word natural. Oh yeah, natural foods or natural stuff. Guess what? It's a marketing term. I just wanted to let you know this, because I had to figure this out too. So I'm on here like, I can't wait to get on my podcast because I'm telling on it, and stuff because of this type of stuff. It's crazy. But natural is a marketing term. It's not a safety guarantee. So just because you can say it's all natural. Well, what all natural mean? That the animal didn't fart? I mean, what? You didn't use a fertilizer. Like, what does all natural mean? You think that means the best, and it doesn't. That's
Right.
why they found arsenic in apple juice, kids' apple juice, Mott's, and all of those things. That's why they find these things, because everything is man-made. They're not making it. The apple juice company, they're not making it because they want everybody to be healthy. They're making it because we know you need apple juice, which is a part of your fruits and vegetables and everything. So how can we make it? But we got to make it taste good. That's why you got to watch out. When your apple juice doesn't say 100%, that means it got somebody else's stuff in there. It got different DNA. It's not an apple anymore. It's coming to you as a tasty juice. But what is the other stuff? Poison. That's why we come out with cancer later on in our years and everything, and all of this stuff. It's because of what we took our time to eat, thinking it was natural and everything, and it was healthy, it was safer, and it was all a big misconception. They need their money. Run them their money, and run you your bad
They're
health.
giving you what you asked for. At the end of the day, remember, market research is what the people are talking about. So they look at how many people are going online, they Googling, I want all natural. And so they're saying, man, people are Googling this stuff, but then they don't know the meaning of the words. They don't know if that can be manipulated left and right, like you're talking about. So they're giving you what you want. Like I told you, it's like, bro, like the best form of you taking a solid multivitamin, by the way, by far, just nobody can compare, is a pill. Just that's the best form of getting a supplement, is through a pill form. You could just pack so much more. You can the technology to make it arrive where it needs to be, like we talked about, all of that. A pill, it just does so much that a gummy can't, because you have to preserve flavor and everything else, and the heat issues and all of that. And then the one a day, right? The one a day is also an issue. I didn't get it. I skipped that slide because I know time's running out. But one a days, essentially what's happening with a one a day is, like we talked about, you got hydrochloric acid in your stomach. You got your body that's gonna make sure that everything gets absorbed, and you push all of that stuff through and you poop. So so when you take something like a one a day, or even like or even a gummy, or even a liquid form, there's stuff you can put under your tongue that they call sublingual, and it's a liquid form of the vitamin. It's concentrated, very concentrated. If you take that and you consume that, just remember, just like if you ate your meal in the morning, are you still hungry? Like, you're gonna be hungry 15 hours later. It don't just last all day. So when you're looking at a vitamin and supplement, you're not looking for something that you take one time for convenience. If you're looking for health, if you're looking for convenience, get you a one a day. You take it once, set it and forget it. Get you one that you take 1 week and it just lasts all month. That's just not how it works. I feel bad even sharing those certain ones. People ask for them, I give them to you, but I want to share with you, if you allow me, that's going to be gone. That one a day is going to be gone. I don't care what the package says. It's going to be gone after a certain amount of hours. They can have great technology to make it last, maybe 8 hours, but it's not going to last your whole day. So the stuff that I take, it comes in forms where you take 3 pills in the morning and you take 3 pills at night, and it covers this 8 to 12 hour span. So you're sitting there, and depending on when you take, I like to let them overlap, let the little times overlap. You know what I mean? And then my nutrients in my day can get filled in with all of the rest of the stuff, so that you're constantly getting a slow drip system of nutrients, instead of blast your whole system with something once, even if it's expensive, even if it's superfood greens, one time, it's gone, right? So this idea of, like, if you need to eat, if you need to breathe more than once a day, if you need to do certain, like, biological functions require a all day thing. You need to be breaking that stuff up multiple times a day. And how do you do that? Oh man, when I eat, I got my digestive enzymes right there. When I'm drinking certain drinks, I don't drink soda anymore. I don't drink all of those things. I don't go buy that stuff personally. I might have it at a party, because I'm not like I don't do that stuff. I don't go to McDonald's. I went to McDonald's. I get it, but I ain't going to McDonald's every day, all day for 50 years. And all of a sudden and it's crazy. Like the way people say that, they get so like, and that's why you start creating this like red and blue state, right? Like the Republicans, you got, and these people got this stuff and they got that stuff. I'm like, look, it's moderation. It's moderation, but it's also understanding of the biology of how stuff actually works. You're not putting no water in your gas tank and expecting it to go. You got to put gas in your gas tank, because you understand how cars work. And if you try it, you see what happens. So I think that's the part that we have to start getting into. What's the gas for our bodies? What supplements can support us having gas? so that we could absorb, like Maria mentioned
all
earlier,
day.
so we can actually absorb more throughout the day. And so when you have this like vertical, when people are like trying to figure out, I don't know who to trust at this point, man. All these big companies, they all bad. There's some that aren't, right? There's Altacore company that have all of these farms. This Trout Lake over here, you got Mexico, you got Brazil. There's certain farms that are certified organic locked in. 6,000 acres of certified organic. This is the stuff that I have access to. 1 billion seeds tested annually. They test their seeds to make sure that they didn't accidentally get any kind of weird stuff that got seeped in through the air. Because sometimes a GMO farm would be right next to a organic farm, just next door to it. You don't know. You didn't go do the research. I didn't go do the research. We don't know. But they're positioned next to each other. So the air exists. So certain seeds will fly from one farm to the other, and now it's GMO over there. So we got it. So when you're trying to figure out, like, man, who do we trust? Who do we trust? Trust a place that has a seed to supplement standard, to me, because they know from the birth of that seed all the way till it gets to your mouth who was the farmer's name who worked on it. Like that's why it might cost $15 instead of $5. Like that kind of, like, knowing that kind of stuff, when you start realizing what it could do for your body, that's when you start caring about that stuff a little bit more. When you start seeing the value, you start looking at, like, by and large, people who like consume these things, their health looks like this. Their babies, you know, I'm my wife taking a lot of this stuff, and then our babies being in the NICU, and everybody's like, how did they survive? Like, all of this stuff. I'm like, man, those babies were strong. Cairo was over there ripping that cannula out of his nose. He was trying to get out of there, man. And they look like they needed to cook a little longer. If I had some pictures to show you, I would. They weren't ready.
They were not ready.
Mom, after this, go look at some pictures of Cairo in the hospital. They
were
like,
my God. You should have gave me a picture to put up here of our little genetic.
They didn't know how to do that part yet. They were pre-baby.
They GMB, genetically modified babies.
But look, it didn't take them very long, to me, and I think it was a supplement base, because at the end of the day, we know that moms, the baby is extracting all her nutrients. She gets depleted of a lot. Her lips look a certain way, face is pale, because all of that nutrients go to that baby. Yeah. And then she has to, like, re-up her reserves after that. But then guess what? Breast milk. You know what I mean? So it's like all of this stuff, like, the baby's taking this, you know, and it's a good thing you give it to your baby. But then
what is mama eating and drinking?
That's the
so
thing.
That's
during the whole
powerful breast milk, and it's just whole plain old with breast milk. You know, it's two different kinds. It's one.
Maria mentioned something. She said the soil matters. She mentioned there's something else. She talked about minerals. She talked about third-party testing, and that's when this stuff starts coming in. Some of the companies that I work with, they have like 9-step traceability birth certificates for every botanical that they use, right? So every plant that they decided to put inside, they have a whole traceability factor as to why did they pick it, what process do they have. They have patents on the usage of it, so other companies can't combine like rosemary and certain ones together to create what they created that have the antioxidant effect. They can't match that. Like they have to patent on it. You have to come to me for it. You have to buy it, right? And so that whole, like, that, because they knew what they had their hands on once they were creating these results, and the studies came out where 70% of people, 40% of people, there was an uptick of this. Sales were growing, like becoming more. The integrity of the sales were growing. So once the clinical levels were proving that your cellular life was actually getting better, and then somebody's like, but Walmart got it for like. But like Walmart, and I'm like, but Walmart ain't got this.
$12.99, guys.
You're asking about this, and then you bring up Walmart, and I'm like, what are we asking for? Because I can help you figure out how to shift some of that.
Survive it anyway,
right?
But do you want to survive it, or do you want to have your last years far better than your beginning years?
It's,
you know, so you can have a quality good. Be a good healthy old person.
There are some sea mosses, and there's some greens and some proteins and some companies that have all of these things that match what I'm talking about, but they all got this. All the ones that I'm talking that are out there that I don't necessarily like endorse personally, but if somebody bring up those names, I'm like, oh, for sure, yeah. And that's why after this, if there's something that you want to validate, I got all of this stuff right here. I could probably tell you in a text message. Text me, call me. Call my mom, get my number, do what you need to do on that end, because I love sharing that information so that people know. And I'm like, that's a legit one. Like, I'll let you know. My granny, when she was going through cancer, my mom was like, "What you this stuff from this place?
Exactly.
This stuff. Why? Because it ain't like when you see that I made that choice for my granny so that she can live. not because I'm trying to make $1. That's when I feel like it starts
exactly
to be real.
That part.
Okay, like this ain't just something you trying to sell or not. You can't just buy it from me. I won't give you my link. I don't want you. I want you to want it. Right? I want you to actually like start finding value, because I've already went through the whole like sales world or whatever. Here's what I learned. If I can have somebody who find value in something the same way they do with their Crest or Dawn or toothpaste or whatever, and they're like, this is the best stuff, or they have certain stuff in their hair, like, I don't do nothing else. I only do this brand that I get, and it works, and they can show, look, it works. Then I'm like, I want that. Because that person is loyal to that person that they don't even know for the rest of their life. That $10 is coming out of their pocket every single month for the rest of their life. Those are the relationships that I want to build with people, so that like this stuff happens forever. So I don't want you to be buying from me because you're just buying from me. I want you to buy from me because you're learning, like, I understand this 5,000 quality check performance annually. My company didn't do that. The stuff that I was taking before, I didn't even know to think about this stuff. I want that now. I want the feeling that comes from the weeks of taking that stuff. That's what I want. And then the value that comes out of that is tears. It's tears that come out of my eye when I help people with stuff like that. Like I tell my mom all the time, like, dude, like that stuff is like, that's what you do it for. That's why I can't never go to the other. I can't sell out. You know what I mean? I can't sell out and go to the other side and just try to just sell you anything to make $1. Like, that ain't the world. It's value. Like, how can I get you the most value? And so kind of like just getting to the end of this stuff. You know, there's all kind of studies like I talked about where the supplement, particularly Double X, had like a 30% reduction in DNA damage markers. Like, these are clinical meta-analysis of 800 plus participants. Like, these are like, it's been proven. There's patents, right? There's stuff that like, it's not placebo, right? So it increased antioxidant status above the placebo. So that means they took a group of people and had them and told them they were taking this supplement. Then they took the other ones and told them they were taking it, but this group never got it. They got a sugar pill. And so so they all thought that they were getting it. So now it ain't got nothing to do with your thoughts. It's just what it actually did to your body, and it reduced it by this 30%, which is like stuff like that is why I trust certain things. So when we're sharing something, it's like, well, but my cousin, uncle, brother said that like this is the best stuff ever. I don't, man. You know, let me talk to your cousin, uncle, brother, real quick. I just want to find out what he knows and where he came from. His company, like, because I can't count him out yet, but I'm kind of counting him out because you said cousin, uncle, brother. Like, you know, you can go to some scientist, you can go to some person like even a Dr. Sebi. He's a doctor, and he studied what he did significantly. Sometimes people take his word out of context because they're not realizing what he actually said.
They actually treat him like a god, but he's only supplied and was left to what his environment was. It's not in Hayward or Oakland or something like that. You know, Dr. Sebi is somewhere on the island somewhere, you know, and stuff where papaya is rampant, you know, and all of this type of stuff. But even that is not always safe. They got to deal with all types of stuff.
That changes your whole microbiome.
Where's your papaya tree? You know, where's your
humans? And they do it in Japan versus doing it in Galapagos Islands versus doing it in Greenland or Oakland. Like in California, United States, Oakland, like just California, United States, Oakland is one kind of bioavailable. Like the food we have here is different from Wisconsin, even, right? So like, just imagine those differences. Then you do a study on those people, giving them certain things. Like, everything ain't gonna work for everybody, right? So some of the things that I like to kind of share is like more general, but what Dr. Sebi has maybe more targeted and even better for you, to be honest, because it's more targeted. Like, if you're under that saying you got iodine deficiency that nobody in the medical industry and no supplement is helping you with, and he wrote a whole thing on how if you do this and do that, and if you haven't tried that, you need to go try that. You know what I mean? Like, but the biggest thing, here's the thing I gotta tell you in my heart, most people just don't follow through on stuff. Everything they hype up and buy, they'll buy the shoes for I'm about to go to the gym. They get the shoes.
Rise Coffee. I talked about it for years.
And then resolution. And then January 1st. And now it's February 10th? All those people gone. You spent $1,000 to be there for a month. And you sore, and you didn't even get stronger. like it's the biggest loss. Probably hurts yourself. That happen every year because most people do it. It's just normal. But the people who do kind of beat, they already messed that up last year. Shout out to those people who still doing it, or shout out to the people who about to start doing something tomorrow because I said this. Because your journey ain't over yet. It's still only February, right?
It's still time to reset.
Everybody stops a little bit. Jump back on. right? So you don't have to end up being,
Don't give up.
people always fail. Failure is an opportunity to win. Every day you realize it. It's just you realize you do something different. So here's the baseline that I like to share. When it comes, gummies are at the bottom, okay? They're the gateway drug. You take these to get you started in the industry so that at least you're getting something. It's not going to be the most bioavailability, but at least it's habit forming. I like that word right there. It'll form a habit. You have them next to your counter. And you're used to going in the morning. I'm gonna grab my drink. I'm gonna open up that jar, pop those gummies. They taste good. They get you going. There you go. You're not getting your most nutrients. However, you're getting something. And there's some that are better than others, right? Then you go to the next step. Okay, I wasn't taking nothing. And if I would have just bought this one a day, I wouldn't go take it because I don't like pills. But at least now that the gummies got the habit forming, let me go into the primer, right, to get my body going. Let me go into the one a days. I'm going to take one pill a day. Instead of that gummy, I'm going to replace that bottle. Or maybe I have the bottle. I have them both, right? Put those up there. Take my gummies. Pop my one a day. Cool. Little daily multivitamin. I got, a decent amount of absorption. But a lot of times you got to think about it. It's not lasting all day. And then you have something similar. I know that there's very few out there. But the one that we talked about earlier with the double X, with that clinical levels and the potency, is 24-hour coverage. It requires discipline because you got to take. It's very small pills, by the way. If people are worried about size, they're tiny. Small. If you have, mama, I ain't lying to nobody. They're really small, tiny little pill, but it's just 3 of them. And you got to be able to have, a lot of times they come in a case where you can grab 1, 2, and 3 and throw it. But then, I forgot to take it last night. You can't just double up the next day. And you can, I guess, but you're not going to get more nutrients. Your nutrients needed to be given at a certain time. You don't just take 50 of them the next day and think you can catch up. That's like going and doing 1,000 push-ups the next day to try to make up for all the ones you haven't done since January 1st. You're just gonna break your arms. That's not how stuff works. So whenever you jump back on the horse, you just jump back on and do exactly what you were doing before. You don't do more. You got to do less even. Just take at least, if you've been doing the morning and night, and then you got to form that habit again. Just take the morning. I used to take this 6-pill little formulation system here. I used to take all of them in the morning. I'm gonna just throw them all in. Then I learned about the whole bioavail. I was like, right, because I had the discipline to do it. I liked the results I was getting, but I didn't get more results by taking them all at the same time. I got links. For sure. Actually, just call me. Text me. I'll send you everything. I like to walk people through stuff because here's the thing. Just like this could be overwhelming. If I didn't share it, you wouldn't be able to navigate even these slides if I just sent
even that. Or you'll be stuck taking the stuff that's no good for you. And it's not going to help you.
I got you. You already know, Marie. You already know. We already there. But anybody else for sure that just saw that comment and everything, like I got a link. I'll share a link that my mom probably put into the comments. If anybody put, I don't know, what is it like? Type in, shoot me the link or something like that in the comments. You just spam that down, and my mom, I'm sure you'll go.
Yeah, I'll put it all over so that it's every so many things. Yeah. I'll put one in and stuff so that everybody can see it and stuff, because we're giving you a bridge to save your life, not a bridge that's burned at the end and you got to jump into the into the ocean.
What I love about it is like I don't the people who are doing it the right way in any industry. Like imagine your favorite car salesman, your favorite doctor, your favorite. Everybody is selling something. Like what happens is the people who are trying to push stuff on you, you don't like them. I run away from them. Somebody trying to knock on my door, trying to sell me a water filtration system for the 15th time because I live in a nice neighborhood. I'm like, bro, I don't want it, bro. Like, get out of here.
Yeah,
bro, I'm trying to tell you, and you just
I boil my water.
We got a limited edition. I'm like, bro, so I was afraid that people gonna see me that way. So my big thing is know that like by the end of this conversation, I don't want your money. Like you're gonna say something to me, right? You're gonna say something like, hey, look, like I take this, should I be taking that? And then if I can help add value to you and share with you what direction to go in, even if it's not on my platform, then go get that. You know what I mean? And so I went either way. I get because I like you as a person first, not trying to get the money. That comes secondary. And so that's the way I don't know. It seems so much of a no-brainer for sure. But sometimes people are just afraid of that conversation. They're like, look, I don't want to try to give me to buy something and this and that. I'm like, I'm just warning you right now. You probably got
don't nobody want to sell you no. We're not getting no money. It's not like a drug deal or something where you get to come up, you know, and stuff.
I'm not doing all that. I want to know where are you at? What are you currently taking
right now? Right
so I can help you to not buy from and get what you're doing or shift that over. I got you. That's here's why. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, for sure. Hook me up. Boom. And so, you know, I got some people that might be listening right now that might be buying some of the stuff from me and have been for multiple years. And they know how I go. Like their whole thing is like information whenever you ask. If you don't ask, I'm not about to blow you up. I'm about to text you out. I want you to want your health. I can't want it more for you than you want it for yourself, right? Same thing. I do that same thing. If I'm personal training you, I'm not about to do more and start doing push-ups and stuff to get you better. I got to do my push-ups for me. You got to do push-ups. I'm going to probably encourage you with my mouth, but you got to do the push-ups at the end of the day, right? And so when you're ready for that, that's when we can have conversation. If you're not ready for that, keep learning until it's time to tap in. But at least I'm a source. So that way, before going to Walmart or Costco or wherever, it's like, before I go to let me at least talk to him. Like I have a guy I call for concrete. If I have concrete ideas, I'm like, I'm gonna call him up. I have a guy for life insurance. When it's time to when I'm thinking about doing, oh man, I'm wondering about this. I just go call him. He's not about to get me to buy nothing just because I called him. He's just gonna inform me because I want information. I know that the internet has some stuff and you do this and scam that, and I don't want to be scammed. So I have to go to somebody that I trust that's gonna walk me through some stuff, and then I can get off the phone and not feel guilty and be like, dang, I should give him $5 for that conversation. It's gonna feel like you probably should give me $1,000 every conversation. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I can't let you. I gotta let you get the value. So that's why I like to inform people. Gummies Gateway, 1 a day is once you starting to build that habit. You serious about your health, you want it to actually change for real long term, take 3 in the morning, 3 at night, and be up here. And that's really what those slides are all about. I talked about once you have a foundation, this is what I mentioned, then you can go target it. Targeted supplements should only be added after a micronutrient baseline is secured. That means multivitamins help you get the micronutrients that your food and everything ain't giving you to the highest degrees. So you're taking that stuff consistently. It's on a 24-hour cycle. You're good. Now it's like what? But now my thoughts, man, I feel brain fog all the time. Organic lion's mane, I have access to that. Some of the best in the world, some of the most potent, concentrated that can be offered to human beings clinically. I mean, just legally, like lion's mane. And then rhodiola is a adaptogenic herb that helps fight fatigue. It's kind of marketed towards the sports nutrition side, but folks who don't work out at all use it for just clarity, mental clarity, right?
Wakey. All
of that stuff that happens when we're drinking this coffee, and then you start feeling this crash. If you take a rhodiola with your coffee, it'll mitigate that crash. So this is helping people kind of bridge gaps to maybe not take coffee and start to kind of take other stuff once they're real, because you can't just jump ship. If you're used to that caffeine hit, your body gonna feel terrible. So if you take like a rhodiola with that, as you're starting to transition into doing more B vitamin stuff where you're getting your nutrients from your food. B vitamins mean take the food and get your energy from the food, not caffeine, which blocks your adenosine receptors. And then you don't feel tired. So it just stops you from feeling it. And then it just builds up in your brain and builds up and builds up and builds up. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, dude, I'm out. Like, good night. And that's that crash that happens.
Crash. So that's what they call crashing.
Right.
So if you're gonna do
it, a question. I say take one of these. Somebody had a question, says, I don't take a vitamin. Which one is the best for my age, 69? Do I really need to take them since I never took this? Please help. I think if you're interested, if you have great health, right, you're probably generally getting a baseline. Your body is very well regulated. If you're able to go up and down flights of stairs, you're not tired, you're feeling good. If you have a good workout regimen, you're 69 age. Look, I know some 70-year-olds, 75. They're killing it in life. I wouldn't recommend them taking a bunch of vitamin supplements. Why? You're doing great. Mm-hmm. It's when you start feeling that your baseline, it's like I'm doing all of these great things that I've been doing, and I'm starting to feel it's not enough. It's not that's when you might want to start to consider switching that up. Now, just for overall, like preventative, like for the future, I think that definitely having a multivitamin, a baseline like XX for any age. Honestly, as soon as you're able to take pills, I wouldn't give it to kids, because kids are, at least from the scientists that I was talking to, the kids have so much going for them when it comes to like their bodies and their growth hormone and all of that. Right. Like, you don't need to give no kids no supplements. Like you could, to help build a habit. Like the boys take their vitamins. My boys actually take a probiotic. They take a multivitamin chewable, and they take with some plant concentrates and stuff in there. And they also take a immunity like elderberry concentrate. And all from some of these companies that I mentioned I have a relationship with. So they love that stuff. They love the taste. It's marketed for their taste. It's not. It doesn't have all of the stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But at least they know from birth, growing up, I have to take my vitamins every day. Like they have that habit built in. I got to wake up, brush my teeth, wash my hair, do whatever, take my vitamins. Like they take their vitamins. And so when it starts to transition into their, preteen, 10, 11, or if their bodies are bigger.
Ooh, I can't wait.
You got a 9-year-old that's like bigger because of, your genetics or whatever. Their body needs more. So don't wait until you have to take it at 15. There's no special age, 65, 45. There's no special age. It's what your body needs. So you got to kind of feel that out and feel that. I hope that answered that question. The one about the caffeine right here, it's not really good for your body anyway. Caffeine is not that bad either, though. Here's the thing. Caffeine, all it's doing is blocking the adenosine receptors, right? If you only take a certain amount, it's going to block them and you don't have these crazy negative effects from it. 100 milligrams, right? But once you start pushing 300 milligrams for 1 can of Celsius, 200 milligrams for 1 can, and then you're drinking 2 or 3 of those, so you're getting 6 and 12. You start pushing, like going to the hospital limits of caffeine. And then here's how you claim it. You justify it by saying, oh, that stuff doesn't really do anything for me. And again, like we were talking about in the beginning, just because it doesn't do anything for you doesn't mean it's not doing anything to you.
Something to you.
And then making stuff weird. And so that because if you understand what caffeine is blocking your adenosine. So if you're not feeling any like up or down from it, your regulation there is weird. Like we talked about with the insulin, it's going to create some kind of dysregulation. And when you wonder brain fog or why can't I remember things later in life or certain things, you've been hijacking your brain with massive amounts of caffeine. Now, if you go in moderation, 100 milligrams, I forgot the numbers, but I think it's between 100 and 200 milligrams or less. And certain people, again, some people are super sensitive to it. So you might have to divide that number and it got to be 80 for you, right? Certain things. So just understand that, and then forms of caffeine too. Whole food supplements and caffeine that comes from green coffee, green bean extract, have the whole synergistic package. So when you take those, you don't get a crash. Actually, most users from sources like that, even if the drink says caffeine, but it has caffeine, like Red Bull caffeine, that's synthetic. That stuff is terrible for you in any milligram. Bad. Absolutely. Do the research on it. It's just bad. It's synthetic, isolated caffeine. Only it's like pure drugs, the purest form. Boom. That's what Red Bull has. That's why they're the best, because they got the pure, but it's really bad for you. But then you look at like
man-made. It's not even something they
put particular together. The one that I drink. When you look at the vitamin, the caffeine amount in here, this is coming from a bean. It's plant-based. And so it has the whole thing too. They didn't isolate that out. So what that means is that all of the other entourage effect of the stuff that's happening where you processing that, your body, the charts when they show them, like the Red Bull goes, whoom, whoom, and then your body go, and over time it just kind of slowly.
Think about dropping it off. You ready to go to sleep? Okay, I drop down now. And
you just, which is great. So,
but also, can I just say one thing about people taking megadose? Like we kept on talking about we used emergency, but it could be any kind of vitamin. Instead of taking one vitamin, you take 2, thinking that you're getting extra healthy and stuff like that. But this is what ends up happening: taking far more than the body needs or can safely use. It's going to pee it out. Why you think your pee is lime green after you take a certain amount of vitamins? It'll do that with almost all vitamins and stuff. But the reason why it's doing that is because it's poison. You're making your body toxic. So you're actually breaking yourself down. So when that cold comes along or that flu comes along and stuff like that, and you're taking all these vitamins, like I've been taking my vitamins, these are good vitamins, and stuff. They cost me a lot or whatever. But at the same time, remember, it's a 45-minute window for most vitamins and stuff where they just drop off. So if you're not taking a carefully selected brand of vitamins that put all this in mind, that put the patient first, the client first, and stuff, then you're gonna get whatever the heck they're doing. They're making their money. Like I said, run me my money. And so when we're looking at Red Bull, it was a craze. Remember that. Monster, Red Bull, and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, I've tasted them before. I didn't care for them, but I tasted them before, so I get it. They put it in a alcohol now, thinking that it's gonna get you an extra boost. All it's doing is you just mixing toxins. So
Yeah.
the one thing I want to leave with and stuff, and then I'm gonna stop, Michael, and stuff, is the fact that, do you know when you're putting all of this stuff in, your kidney's only gonna kidney for a minute? You know what I'm saying? After a while, you're gonna have acute kidney injury.
Yeah.
You're gonna damage your kidneys. You're gonna damage your liver, and stuff. You're gonna damage your heart. You're gonna damage.
Here's the thing: when you say that stuff, I listen differently because I heard the stories of you actually dealing with somebody whose kidney was actually damaged.
Yeah.
That's the part that I feel like people are missing. I'm not saying just only listen to Charlene, don't listen to nobody else, blah, 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 blah. But what I am saying is kind of that. Kind of like somebody who was in the hospital literally watching people like extra young that weren't supposed to be, like, it's like they're having heart attacks.
People peeing pus instead of pee. Yeah, they're peeing pus. They don't make pee anymore because the kidneys are gone. They blown
traumatized,
out.
y'all. Maybe this should be a therapy session. Man, she used to tell me stories about gonorrhea and like stuff that what it looked like. Look at this picture, and I'm like, I don't want to see that.
You gotta learn something.
I have a baby early. You know what I mean? I had a baby and I was 30. Okay, because my mama shared that stuff with me, man. I ain't saying, hey, one of the best things you can do for your sons out there, moms, get them, let them understand the biology.
Show them them pictures.
Show them the pictures. What could happen if they don't, have safe, stuff. You know what I mean?
It's
if they don't do certain things, if they overload their body, and we need to do it with ourselves too. When we're like, cool, this is good information, but then the application doesn't change. If you listen to this podcast since it started, and the changes haven't happened, it's just good information. You're supporting my mom, great. You got a viewership.
Okay.
But here's the thing that I'm just saying it. I'm not saying don't watch it. I'm saying watch it and do something, right? Watch it and get informed. And I think that's the thing that I like about your community is that when you read the comments or you hear the stuff from the people, a lot of these people are family members. They're like, no, I feel more informed. Like I actually know more stuff. Like I went to the doctor the other day and I was like, girl, you better give me this. You better check for this platelet level because Charlene was talking about platelets and I had to go look that up again. But now that I know it, you better check my platelets. And sometimes the doctors will say this to you, and I'm sure you guys have had this happen. If you've been applying this stuff, it's like, you're right, we should do that. And it's like, wait, hold on, how can I, the non-doctor, the non-whatever, be able to inform you, the doctor? But if you got connected to her, you know what I mean? I don't know if you're above and everybody.
Yeah.
If you got connected to her, this lady right here, she shared that stuff with you. Now it's in your jargon. It's in your language, right? That Nurse Charlene is in the back of your mind, like, ooh, you better say this. Ooh, you better. And you've been that in the back of my mind since forever. Like I'm always constantly thinking about my health in that way because even if I don't see the application all out in the world, all over the place, you let me know that there's a difference between what I'm seeing out there and what I need to do, right? And so that actually drug me into this direction. So just kind of like I don't know, I guess like doubling down on what you were talking about, like. It matters the source in which we're listening, especially in this AI day and age. It matters that you're hearing your information about the human body and stuff like that from a nurse. Like that stuff is like very important. Don't maybe not listen to Nurse Charlene about crypto trades. Maybe go to somebody else. Maybe not listen to Nurse Charlene about like, amortization schedules along a 30-year fixed mortgage. Maybe you should go talk to somebody else. Maybe if you're interested in that, go talk to somebody else. Maybe find out if she knows what results she has in it. But like when it comes to this stuff, I'm like, go look at multiple podcasts, keep watching them, like fill your mind up with this kind of content that could beat some of the anti stuff out there, or some of the stuff that may not be that could be getting confusing. Oh, you're supposed to eat peanut butter. Oh no, peanut butter's bad. Oh, you're supposed to eat sugar. Oh no, sugar's bad. Oh, fructose is good. Oh no, H304 or H706, or if you get your water and you put it inside this spring, and everybody's saying all of this stuff. And then who's synthesizing it for you? And I think that's one of the things that I like about what you're doing, Mom, is you're synthesizing the information for the people so that they don't have to get confused. They don't have to be confused out there like Babylon, like, I don't know what language to speak of. Do I do this? Do I do that? Depending on the room. If it's workout people, you talk about workout stuff. But if people are lazy, you talk about lazy stuff. And you just you're a chameleon instead of just being you. I think what you're helping people to do is to cut through all that fluff. You can be you. You can be informed about what you know you're doing. You could stand true to the vitamin supplements that you might be taking. You could stand true to I don't need vitamin supplements because my body is fully regulated in that area. My thoughts are incredible. I don't need Lion's Mane. I don't need that. I don't need some kind of like thing that can help. I don't need the turmeric for my knees. My knees are great. Why am I taking turmeric? Because my cousin said take turmeric, just take it no matter what. Why are you taking it? Always just question that stuff. Some stuff can be preventative, but some stuff is just you're wasting your money. And like you mentioned, I'm sorry, I meant to add this.
Yes.
When you are buying a supplement that you say you have to take 4 and 5 and 6 of them, like for that moment, for that day, but then every other day, like how much does that really cost? Because you're gonna run out and you keep buying it. And if you have been, you probably, if you double and triple in it and it was $5, it's $15 now, right? So I remember we used to get stuff. Remember DD's discount store? Go get some pants, wash them one time, they don't work no more. There was only $5. Only $7.
That's right.
When you broke, that's the broke poor mentality. You got broke poor people go to the broke poor stores. But here's the thing.
Oh, this is a discount, but it's the lowest budget.
The next year, I got an $80 pair of jeans. These jeans, and maybe I got $40 pair of jeans, right, from Old Navy or something like that. They're gonna be solid structure wise. They're gonna wash and not melt on me.
Tear up,
take the dye, and dyes gonna run all over the place.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean. Like certain things are gonna happen. You're gonna save so much more money by just spending your money on the $40, $50 stuff than $50 pants, $100 pants. I'm not saying go out there and get Louis, Gucci, whatever, but there's a reason why they're those brands. Like they're quality. People buy for quality. Buy that quality. You ain't got to get another bag for like 20 years. Get a luggage out. You ain't got to buy another one because you think you're not going to spend it. If you're going to keep traveling, you going to spend it. You're going to buy a luggage. You're going to do it. And it's the same thing with these vitamins and supplements. If you're going to keep paying those copays, you're already paying. It's already gone.
You already did it.
For me, a lot of times it's an opportunity to stop that process. I don't need to. I remember your eyes had some pressure and we started taking some supplements for your eyes. And then it's like real for years. Like, between you and I was like, Mom, take this, boom. And then it was like, guess what? I went to the doctor, and I remember that whole little journey. I was like, this is a cure, damn near. But you can't say that. Obviously, that stuff is illegal to say. And I wouldn't ever claim that stuff is cures. But it
improved my eyesight so well. It was crazy. It was kind of scary, but it's like, because all this time we're shooting for what's going to be best for our bodies. We actually have the nerve to love our bodies. And so we want to do the right thing by them. It's just that sometimes we could be misinformed or remember we're marketed to. Everybody is marketing. Just me alone with this, I'm giving out free information on stuff that will last you the lifetime. It will save you, save your family members, save your neighbors, save everybody, and stuff like that. And I'm giving this to you. 2 decades, 3 decades in the healthcare field, period. But 2 decades as a registered nurse in acute care. So that means I was 911. And forget all the ambulance coming up and down the street. They dropping that patient off to me and stuff. And I'm saying all of that stuff because I saw all of this and I saw all of this and stuff. And I feel so calm when I'm delivering this to you guys because you're going to actually help save yourself and save somebody else and stuff. And we're getting
wins that you get to from this is the comments, to be honest. Like it's people saying stuff like, I'm going to read some of the stuff they said about you. I love your podcast. It's so educational. You teach us so much. I really appreciate you. Right. Somebody else said, I always say this information is good. I love what you're doing, cuz keep it up. I'm learning so much every week. Thank you. Knowledge is power. Right. Like just like those kind of comments, of course, drive the heart of the person who's giving the content. And it's going to make you want to share. You ain't gatekeeping.
Better and better.
If people are saying these things. Right. Like it's like, man, I want to, because you feel like other people could say it and they're not, our government. Right. Other people could do certain things and they're not. Right. We have to go to city council meetings and you see these little videos of people like, why are we feeding our kids this? And we know it's bad. Like parents are going up. And then finally they'll be like, oh, maybe we should make a change. But if nobody make a change, then That company, that service, they just like somebody's job is to make sure that, oh, who do we use for lunch? Oh, that person, cool, okay, and that's just their job.
Yeah,
It's like you got
they
a
just
job.
pick anything.
They're doing their job, but
they don't
their job
care.
isn't to care about every single kid. Their job is to logistically set up the stuff of how lunch goes. So it's up to us to push the issue on those things and to understand in our own lives. And I feel like while right now you're not huge, you don't have so much of a time constraint where if somebody texts you, you ain't got the time. I think anybody listen to it right now, because it ain't gonna be nothing but 100 people or so, right? They got direct access to you, right? We're seeing Nets and whoever else all live streaming all on there, and the Drewskis, and oh y'all, and they be saying stuff about people in the comments or whatever, but they got hundreds of thousands of millions. They're never gonna get back to everybody. They actually have bots that do that stuff for them, so it seems like it's them, right? Just to like make people get that feel that they used to do. They used to go through all the comments. But if you listen to those people when they do podcasts where it's like long form and they're just talking for 3 hours, like they'll tell you in those, I ain't got time to do that. I got to buy, or I have a person I pay to do that stuff. They can't be that personable person that they want it to be, but they still try to recreate it. And then it goes back to technology. So right now, I think is the best time for people to like tap my line, tap your line, like grow your direct connection with the source so that you don't have to get lost in the sauce. Because you are a source, you are a form. What does it say? Best of nature and best of science. I think the how you're the best of nature is that you were real. You naturally you're a real nurse. You've been in the world and you actually help people and you understand the jargon and the terms and to help us understand. And then the best of science is you didn't stop your research back in 1994. Like you're still keeping up with what's happening in the evolutions and changes that are
right now.
Both gaining more context scriptures. Sometimes you bring up, your faith and how that makes even more sense when you understand science. It don't go against it to certain degrees to really value what you put in your body. Like kind of actually says you should. Like so just kind of thinking about like that gap that gets like kind of and you're providing that, and the value of like what do you get in return? The value that you can get is people can be more informed. People can reach out to you, and like you said, it takes you nothing to share some of this stuff. You already know it. You did the work already.
That's right.
So if you already built the house, if somebody needed to come in and use the bathroom, it's like, go use the bathroom. I built that house for that. I got a bunch over here too, but like you can use that one. Like once it's built, go use people's houses that they built. That's why they built the house. They only need one room. Like all the other rooms for people there's a living room, there's a backyard, there's a pool. Like these things, when people metaphorically speaking of just somebody building something that you can play around with and have access to. Don't be shy about that stuff. You may not be able to do that with your favorite YouTuber or whatever, but you could do that right now with Nurse Charlene for sure. So and all it does is it's going to inform her next podcast, and you're gonna be like be watching like she's saying that because I brought that up. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where the content is gonna come from.
That's where it comes from.
Why she like, I know so much. What do I do? Well, I'm gonna just talk about this, and it's hit or miss. But like I'm sure the ones that you get excited for the most, Mom, are the ones when people they're actually asking for, like, can you talk about this? Man, we need to know more about
what about this?
One about that.
And you mean to tell me if I took all this emergency, ain't nothing gonna happen extra for me? Yeah. And actually nothing might happen at all, but you thought you got something because it tasted orange, huh? Or something, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Robitussin don't really fix everything. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't gonna stop people from drinking it for years and years. So definitely. So I think we gave you enough to dwell on for a minute. Don't forget to watch these replays and stuff. This is good work. This is honest work. This is fact checkable work, and stuff like that. We do not get on here playing, and everything. So everything I got designed and all the stuff that I got that I want to bring to you guys and stuff, it just gets better and better. And even for March, I'm going to really go crazy because it'll make my year anniversary that I've been on with Medical Talk and Layman's Terms with Nurse Charlene and stuff. So I've stood the test of time and I've given you everything I got because I actually love you, and stuff. A lot of people that get on here, we didn't have conversations, or something. Now I'm putting my face and everything out there for everybody to just filter out what you need. But if you're going to go on there why not get some education? Why not? I feel like I could still learn. I don't care. I got 22 years this year of nursing and stuff, and I still will go out and learn tomorrow
Those are the people I
something
trust.
new,
That's still
something
learning.
new.
Yep.
And that's our God-given talent. I appreciate you, Mr. Mike Jefferson. Not only an entrepreneur, businessman, teacher, father, husband, husband, father, and all the other good stuff, but also somebody that's in a know, that's awake. You know how they say stay woke. You need some people that's woke, and that's who you want to get your fruit from, because we're not going to steer you wrong and stuff. And it's not just us, but anybody. Just make sure that you find out what they really in it for. Is we in it for money? Probably not, huh? But am I in it for the win? Yep, I'm in it for the win and stuff. So I do appreciate you, and I appreciate you taking out some time and of your busy schedule and stuff. But definitely, you are Medical Talk in Layman's Terms with Nurse Charlene's first guest speaker, and you won't be the last one to come on and stuff. You're gonna keep on coming on for different subjects and everything. But I think we're organic, we mesh, so we're gonna do what we got to do also. But Absolutely. Definitely stay tuned. I'm gonna put some people out on Front Street and stuff pretty soon and stuff, and you know who you are. Get ready and start making up your PDF so that you can get on here, and we're gonna get down and go at it. So
the people in your community got some stuff going on for sure, man.
Absolutely. Sure, so. And they need this. I need this. Remember, I said I'm teaching me too. That's how I try to stay transparent. As Auntie Josie said, I love learning what you are teaching us. And if I have questions, I do ask, because I do need to learn more. Absolutely. My grandson's team did win. Hey, shout out to the grandbaby. He got down. Baller. No. Yes, and Maria, she said so good. Thank you, cousins and family and everybody that came on. Y'all know I'll be like, hype me up, and stuff, because the whole point is I get on here and, I might start off kind of slow and everything. But once I see my people come in, you guys are looking at the subjects. You guys are understanding it. You looking out and stuff. Yes, Miss Brittany, I love you, baby girl and stuff. But you guys are getting down. So I want to do a take-home message, and I'm out of here and everything. So we'll be done by 9 or before. And that is, supplements are helpers, not healers. Yep. You hear that? Marketing is louder than science. Marketing. They want to sell you something. But they can sell you something. Just make sure it's something that you can actually, improve the quality of your life, because that's all it's about. If you become in the know, you can improve the quality of your life. More is not better. 2 packs of emergency is not better than just one, because even one, you probably wasting some. Okay. Natural is not risk-free. Just because it says natural doesn't mean that it's natural. Organic, and stuff. You got to watch out. What do you mean by organic? Because you don't use a pesticide, but you do all of this other stuff wrong, and stuff. So that's when we have to actually look at the science.
And I think it actually officially, you can use a certain amount of, but you can't go over a certain amount of pesticide. Like some of the terms of organic, as long as you don't go over this, it's still considered organic.
Yeah, they stretching the truth a little bit because they get more money that way.
Here's the thing: if you know nothing, though, here's the thing: that banana would last like 4 seconds anyway. Like, think about it, this stuff's getting cut off from its mother root, and I want organic, I want it cheap, and I want it to last. How long you leave that banana up there?
Exactly, that's crazy.
Like, it's
crazy. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then and so I said natural is not risk-free. Your body gives feedback If y'all don't listen, I said your body is a snitch, believe it, and stuff. Your body gives feedback. If you don't listen to it, you're disrespecting your body. I'm disrespecting, but everybody is guilty of it now. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that we gotta start listening.
How you feel if somebody don't listen to you? Like, actually, like if you're having a conversation, they over there
talking to you. I'm talking to you.
Like that's your body too. It just doesn't have the same kind of mouth to tell you, but it's gonna tell you, right? It can't say, "Hey, you need to stop that," but it's gonna make you feel a certain way when you need to stop that, right? And sometimes that stuff takes a long time to build up until it hits you. So I like that preventative mentality. I like that. Hearing stuff like this reminds me, like, I'm gonna go in the cabinet and just look around differently from hearing what you have to say.
Be like, you know what, you was shady. I don't even know why I had you in here. That's probably why I stopped taking you and everything and stuff. Okay, another quote I want to give you. When nutrition is right, the body stops complaining. When nutrition is right, the body stops complaining.
I always ask people, how's that going?
Oh my God.
Favorite thing I share when they tell me, oh man, like, you know, I'm taking, you were talking about protein. Well, I'm taking this. I'm like, well, how's that going for you? Because if it's not working, why are you talking to me? Like, the fact that we're talking, we're like trying to get to a better place means that something is not going on. It's not working. Right?
Yeah, like why do you feel like you need more protein? Why do you feel like you need vitamin C or more of it or B complex?
Sometimes it does work. You just ain't working it. You only take it sporadically. You're supposed to be taking it away according to what it said
every day.
And sometimes
I'm only taking sort of last longer. No, just buy more and take it the way it's saying. Yeah. You might actually win sometime, you know, and everything. So the conclusion. Nutrition fallacies, fallacy meaning misconception. Nutrition misconceptions thrive on fear, shortcuts, and misinformation. Real health is built through consistent habits, Michael J. Consistent habits, whole foods, movement, sleep, stress management, not bottles and powders. Okay, supplements may have a place, but they should never replace listening to your body or evidence-based care. Final quote. Your body already knows the truth. Your job is to stop ignoring it. Should I say that one more time before we get off? Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you for begging me. No. Your body already knows the truth. Your job is to stop ignoring it. Your body already telling you it's snitching. It's telling you. Y'all, I'm putting everything I got in it. I'm putting everything I got in it. And I thank you guys for coming on. I thank you for taking that time out. This is the longest podcast I've done so far, but this type of stuff, it cannot be repeated or vamped up and stuff. It gotta just sit there and settle. So the good part is after we're over and stuff, a couple minutes after, give it about 5 minutes, you can put this, you know, on replay and stuff from YouTube under Medical Talk in Layman's Terms with Nurse Charlene, or if you're my Facebook friend and stuff, you can go on to Charlene Nurse Allen. It's made public and stuff, and watch this and watch it from the beginning to the end, because there's so many good nuggets. I guarantee you this is a benefit for you and not a bad thing and stuff. You could take this to your doctor and ask the doctor to just listen to a little bit of this, you know, and everything. But we bring that liveliness, we bring, you know, that happiness and stuff, those jokes and everything, you know, and stuff, the funny little squiggly lines on the boards behind me, you know, and stuff like that, our PowerPoints and all of that stuff. And all of this, we're bringing it together because we know that this is a whole ministry right here and stuff, supplying you with the education to put you in the know so that you can take care of you and your family. No person left out, no human being left out. That means, yes, our babies, We got to make sure that they got the right bottled milk until they graduate to food, and then the right food until they graduate to food and supplements, and so on and so forth. You got to be alive for them, right? And stuff. So you're important. There'll never be another you. Once you're born, that each person that's born, there's never going to be another you. You do you, and stuff like that. So the moral of the story is, come on, let's take care of ourselves, because your body is a snitch, and believe it. And I thank you for everything, you guys. I thank you for my guest and son, Michael Jefferson Jr. And we appreciate you guys. And just remember, all the stuff you got out there to watch and everything, at the end of the day, watch some stuff where we ain't playing.
Yeah. And this stuff is generalized, but you ask questions, she makes it targeted for you. I'll make it targeted for you, obviously, right?
Thank you.
But that's, to me, I'm like, bro, like, reach out to me, right? Reach out to me, reach out to her, get on the phone, get on the FaceTime. Like I said, this world is so fake. Everything you can do, if you go to Sora, is a new social media app out there. Every video on there is made with AI only. And it's some crazy stuff. You could be sitting there scrolling forever. It'll be a cat who punched a hole in a giraffe, and then it ate a baby, and then it spit it back out, and now it's an adult. And it's like, what the heck am I even? It gets weird out there, man. Like stuff.
The bird talking, the parrot talking.
The percentage of stuff that's fake, the percentage of bots that are like trying to rip other companies down in order to get ahead. Like, the world needs human beings like you, Mom, and me, and people who like are actually trying to inform people from a legitimate place. They need the real so much in the world where everything's gonna be fake. Because I'm telling you, it's going to be, not it's almost there or something like that. You got to just look at the numbers. If you ain't looking at the
reading, fake now.
So much is fake. So much. I'm like, we're just talking about, like, as much as you may hate or like a Republican or Democrat or whatever, they might have said something that was like kind of, but the way that AI could take that into craziness and it's all fake. Come to find out, none of that was real. It was, and then you're supporting it, so you keep sharing it out there on social media, and now people looking at you like, oh, you share lies. Even if you're on the right side of it,
right?
Sharing lies. So now I can't trust you, even as a friend. Almost like it starts getting strange.
I'm not going to look at your stuff.
You're so biased. You're so stuck in that like at this point we'll make up lies about our enemy, right? Just to like have everybody hurt them more. If they're the enemy, they already bad. Let them walk themselves into a grave. We ain't got to create lies and fake AI about it. I ain't trying to like smear. If I ever ran for anything, I don't need to smear the other person. I'm just talking about how good I am. Pick me. Because I'm just me. That's all I care about.
Own merit.
Say some bad stuff that I need to clear up my name. Yeah, sure. But after that, I don't need to like attack back. What does that mean? Like, we have to fight fire with fire. I get it, but what do you believe in now? Who's behind your back? You know what I mean? What connection do you have? I don't need to fight that battle, right? I don't need to feel offended by it. I don't need to, and I feel like the way that I am with that is the way that I am with this vitamin supplement stuff. What I put in my family's bodies and mouths. Like, it's the same mentality, and you feel so like the freeness. It's your heart. You get to walk around eating food, talking and laughing with a different smile on your face everywhere you go, just knowing what you decided to root yourself in, both on the physical side and what you put in and what you allowing up here.
Absolutely.
In this day and age right now. It's different. It's different.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, I love you, Mom. I appreciate it. You know me, man.
All right. I love you too, baby boy.
At my line. I'm there.
Yeah. All right.
Always.
Okay. So we're going to be ending the live right now and stuff, but take care. Thank you for all. And look for your comments and questions to be answered after the live and everything. You can find your information, like the links on the vitamins, Auntie Josie, and also, cousin Maria and cousin Tony and a few others and stuff, and everybody else and stuff. Just look inside the comments afterwards and stuff. You'll find a lot of good information, and we're gonna load it up. Okay, y'all take care. And remember, I come on every Tuesday at 7 p.m. with a new topic. Or sometimes I might mirror off of the last topic and everything and stuff, but it'll be something really good that's functionable and everything. Thank you. And all right, take care.